remember there were a lot of rumors about drama with A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. They had like a fractured relationship. Brandon Graham had said something on a radio show in December saying that their interactions had changed, and then there was an apology. But it doesn't seem to matter because Philly whooped the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and Brown addressed their relationship on a recent podcast.
I'll be sitting up here lying to you that if we never had any issues. Like, you know, we two guys, two alphas who wants to be the best and demand greatness from each other and everyone around us. So some reports are true, some reports aren't true. But me and him good, man. And, you know, we just want to be great. And like I said, we push each other and you know, sometimes, you know, we bump heads, but you know, that's normal, you know, and don't nobody sweat it.
Yeah, I'm about over chatty wide receivers calling out quarterbacks. Like, let's be honest about this team with Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley in that O-line. You could move off A.J. Brown. He's very, very good.
Oh, no, he's excellent.
No, I love him. I love DK Metcalf. Seattle could move off him. I mean,
wait, Seattle hasn't won anything with Metcalf. This guy is instrumental to winning.
He's very, very good player, but I think wide receiver is Buffalo proved it. I mean, Kansas City proved it.
Buffalo hasn't won anything. KC has Patrick Mahomes. Like, you're willing to move off A.J. Brown right now? Or at
no, I'm saying they have to move off players. Howie Roseman has come out in the last 48 hours and said it's going to be interesting. It's going to be just be patient with us. They've got to move off a couple of big pieces. Are you going to pay a linebacker? Are you going to pay that linebacker big money?
No, you can find a linebacker. You can't find an A.J. Brown.
No, but I can find 80% of A.J. Brown. I'm
They're
over.
so well built because Devonta Smith is amazing against zones. And if you go, man, nobody can guard A.J. Brown. You saw him cook McDuffie in the Super Bowl. Like, he's, I don't want to say unguardable, but he's definitely a top 5 receiver.
I'm not doubting that. But I will tell you, is December and January, deep threats do not have the impact that they do early. This Philadelphia team's soul is that offensive line, that quarterback, and that running back. So if Saquon Barkley, who's like all class, would never call out a quarterback, ever under any circumstances. If he did, I'd swallow hard and deal with it. I'm not this. If I don't want to hear this stuff, I would call him in right now and say, "You're not talking about the quarterback publicly, or we're going to move you to Jacksonville."
But before you say that, I think you should go to Mike Vrabel and be like, "Hey, how was life before and after A.J. Brown in Tennessee? How'd that work out?" Because apparently all the reports say Vrabel was crestfallen.
Yeah, but Tennessee didn't have anybody else. They've always been receiver-light.
Well, they had Derrick Henry and Tannehill. They were their number 1 seed in the AFC one year.
You're comparing that Tennessee team to this Philadelphia roster? I would sit A.J. Brown. I'd say, first and last warning, we don't talk about our quarterback publicly. We're not doing that. The soul of this team is the GM, the O-line, Saquon, and Jalen.
How do you think a grown man who's wealthy and talented is going to take that?
How's he going to take being traded to Jacksonville? I'm sorry. Philadelphia, the one thing that's going to unravel this thing is chatter.
Would that be like if you came to me and said, J-Mac, no more Austin Reeves love on this show. You can't do it anymore. We're going to ship you.
If I had a better O-line, I would. I'd ship you to the Bravo Network.
Oh, damn. Next story is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They still haven't decided on the quarterback, but Colin, there's more leaks than the Iraqi Navy right now in Pittsburgh. According to Steelers insider Mark Kabouli, the team wants Justin Fields over Russell Wilson.
Now, what do you mean the team? Is that?
Well, that's like everybody except the owner, apparently. Justin Fields is the guy they want, but you can't put all your eggs in your you can't put all the eggs in your basket. And while they wait for him, they've got to pretend like they're interested in everybody. Now, Art Rooney, apparently the owner, really liked Russell Wilson. There's some speculative stuff about sponsors, and Russell Wilson really plays well with them and all that nonsense out there. Apparently they cannot afford Matt Stafford. That's another report. So right now it's very chatty, and that's not normal in Pittsburgh, is it? Usually they're buttoned up. Right now it just feels oof.
Does Pittsburgh realize... Is anybody in the media going to acknowledge this now? They're quickly becoming a have-not. They really are. Their offense in the last 8 years, look at it. It's an offensive league. They will again be the most money spent on defense. They are tone deaf to the most important side of the ball. I don't care about a coach that's never been under 500. That like what? Like,
okay, how about this? So the Steelers are in the playoffs.
they've got a really high floor. The Steelers' ceiling is way lower. Last 4 or 5 playoff games, they've been blown out.
Okay, so let's say you were born in 2012, right? And you're an NFL fan. Basically, you're a fan of the Steelers. You're in the playoffs every year. You're contending. What if you're a Jets fan, born in 2012? No, never sniffed the
First of all,
playoffs.
if you're
you
born,
wouldn't take that.
If you're born in 2012, you're 13 years old. You couldn't buy any of the products or tickets anyway. Who cares?
You know my point. Like, the Steelers fans have something to cheer every year. We're in the playoffs. We're contending. Meanwhile, you got other have-nots like the Jets. We're not even in the playoffs. I think you should be happy with
I
this.
think the Steelers have become a high floor, incredibly low ceiling team. I mean, if I
Well, there's
expect.
nothing wrong with that. Not everybody's going to win the Super Bowl every single year.
When you've got trophies, like how many they got? 5 trophies? I think it is a problem. It was a problem with the Dodgers until last year. You're looking around and going, okay, you're great every year winning your division. Outside of that shortened season, like was it a strike season or a shortened season? They won a World Series. It was like the Dodgers are like, no, we're the Dodgers. We lead the league in revenue. We're second to the Yankees. We sell at our stadium. We have great attendance. We have huge payroll. You got to win. You have to win in baseball in October. The Yankees have had one bad season in 15 years, and that was not acceptable. So when you're the Steelers, the Packers, the Yankees, these are big brand. Georgia football. 8 wins is not good enough.
In the NFL, it's more about the quarterback than the brand, right? Since Mahomes, Allen, and Jackson, they got that conference on lock for the next decade, Colin. Steelers, there's no way they're cracking those guys. They're not beating those guys. I don't care what you do at quarterback.
The Steelers. They're a stale franchise.
All right, final story is the Kansas City Chiefs fell short of the three-peat attempt, and one of their biggest offseason questions is Travis Kelce. Is he going to come back? GM Brett Veach spoke to the media this week and discussed Kelce's status.
I'm not sure how Coach answered that. How we left at the end of the season is that he was fired up. He has one more year under contract, and still think he has that fire and desire to play. And as far as I'm concerned, there is no deadline. I think we left it as he'd be back, and we're excited to get him back and get him going.
A lot of people selling that stock in Kansas City. I'm going to say this. They'll be a playoff team next year.
Oh, way to go out on a limb there. So you demanded yesterday I do a mock draft. It's almost complete.
Yeah, when are you going to get that done?
I have the Chiefs going tight end, the Michigan tight end Loveland. At the end of the
good
first
player.
round. So Kelce tutors him, shows him how to be a pro, and then goes off into the sunset with Taylor Swift.
That's not who they're going to pick. They're going to
think
pick pick an offensive tackle from Minnesota.
I have him. Oh, yeah. Wow. Look at you. You're on your mocks, huh? That he's on my list here.
Yeah. I was told.
I can't even pronounce his first
I was
name.
told.
Ursi is a lot.
I was told let me see. What's the date today? I was told 3 months ago at a hookah bar, I was told that he was the most underrated offensive lineman in the draft, the kid from Minnesota.
Yeah, he's very good.
J-Mac with the news.
Look at that kid.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
No, it's so is the mock. When's the mock draft come out?
Should be complete here in the next hour, and then I'll send it to the editors, the big powers, and they will make it look pretty.
What did you make of the Abdul Carter surgery? Why not just have surgery today?
Yeah,
I mean, to me,
I don't get it.
I don't think this is a strong enough draft to hurt him. I think he's going to be the number 2 pick, number 3. He'll be a top 3 pick, regardless. I don't think it matters if you're the number 1 pick. The top 3 picks make some pretty good money.
Yeah, if the Giants get their quarterback here, whether it's Stafford, Rodgers, whoever, then they'll take Abdul Carter at 3, and the draft starts with the Patriots at 4. Do they go? I don't want to go too long here, but the Patriots are setting up for a Penei Sewell versus Jamar Chase decision. Do you go offensive line or do you go Travis Hunter?
And who's this with?
The Patriots at 4, because they need an offensive line. They have.
I would say this: New England for the last 3 years feels like they've been the slowest team in the league.
Yep.
So to me, if you bring in Travis Hunter and I'm Mike Vrabel, I'm like, dude, I need you at receiver because I actually think the Patriots